Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rangers, but I'm Philip, and today's Wednesday, and that means it's time for a whiskey library review. Now, as you might guess from the bottles behind me, we're talking about a McCarthy's, but we're talking about a special one, at least special to me, and as such, I have to just pop this up on the screen. Um, Today we're talking about Single Barrel 701. Let's Here it is. I rotated the wrong way. Of course I did. This is a beautiful dram. But, as the banner says, is involved in the selection of this single barrel pick, and therefore cannot be considered impartial when discussing it. Even though I do not benefit financially from the sales of these bottles, um, I would say that um, because of the way the world works, once you prove that you can sell a single barrel selection, people are more likely to work with you to, you know, do more. So I genuinely I can't say that I'm impartial about this. But I figure might as well. I mean, it came up on the wheel. I've got to talk about it. But before I get really into this, if you like the show, you like what I do, you'd like to support it, and perhaps help me fund this show and the Single Malt Frontier, I'm selling these beautiful ballpoint twist pens turned from a French oak barrel stave. That French oak barrel held cognac for 45 years before being used to finish a peated American single malt whiskey in the Pacific Northwest. If you know, you know. I can't tell you which one because the master distiller couldn't get her marketing team to sign off on me bragging about it. I also have rollerball pens up now. So, with all that out of the way, let's take a look at this, and maybe talk a little bit about how it came to be. So, let's get started on the nose. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I should tell you some of the particulars. This is McCarthy's Single Barrel 701. It is one of two barrels of fully rum cask matured McCarthy's. So, typically, McCarthy's is aged entirely in Quercus garryana, Gary Oak, Oregon Oak. It has a distinct flavor profile from regular Quercus alba, which is American white oak. And there are a couple of exceptions. Like, for example, their barrel number one was a French oak barrel. And these. This was aged 6.71 years in a used Casa Magdalena rum cask. It's a white oak cask used to age Casa Magdalena rum, and then was used to age this McCarthy's. Like I said, it's one of two, 701, 702. 702 was picked by Tate Key, and I've not tried a sample of that one, but I have on reasonable authority that it is very good, but ours is better. Just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. I have it on reasonable authority that ours is better. Now, the rum cask really comes through on the nose. You've got, I mean, first of all, you've got that like big peat, like note. It's omnipresent. And then you've got some like cane sugar, some tropical fruit notes, maybe just a hint of pineapple, but you've got some like mango, some like pomegranate, strangely, some nice like brown sugar encrusted citrus in there. By the way, if you really want to try something really good, slice an orange thinly so that you've got like the round cross sections all the way across, and then macerate those in brown sugar, and then like gently heat them up until the brown sugar, starts to caramelize just a little bit. Very good. Sorry, I got distracted. And you've got a little bit of, vanilla and a little bit of, soft, gentle nutmeg in there, but mostly it's that, you know, classic McCarthy's smoke, and then, the cavalcade of tropical fruits. Mm. On the palate, there's just something beautifully tropical about it. It's like a beachside bonfire. You've got those beautiful, rich, sweet rum notes, brown sugar, papaya, mango, a little bit of pineapple, some citrus notes. There's It's like nice, broad, palate encompassing richness that's like just all that tropical fruit, some brown sugar, molassesy notes, and that smoke, and a nice, rich, seasoned oak undertone in there. Mm, absolutely beautiful. But how did this come to be? Well, Doug, Ian, and I founded the Single Malt Frontier. At the time, it was the Whiskey Lodge cast, and the idea was to have alternating hosts, but it's really a vehicle for Doug to really focus on research for his single malt book, which is why it became the Single Malt Frontier. Um, and through, you know, the three of us all met in the Whiskey Lodge, as advertised on that nice Glencairn there. And in the Whiskey Lodge, we met Joseph O'Sullivan and Caitlin Bartlemay. At the time, Joseph O'Sullivan was the master distiller for Hood River Distillers, and Caitlin Bartlemay was his number two, his head distiller at Clear Creek Distillery. And we started a friendship. I like to think that we're friends. I have an immense respect for both Joseph O'Sullivan and Caitlin Bartlemay. I consider them amongst my distilling heroes. They are truly exceptionally talented giants in the field of craft distilling, and I'm always excited to see what they have to do and to talk to them and to learn from them. And at some point, because Doug went and visited Clear Creek a few times, and on one of his visits, Joe let him sample a little bit of Barrel 701. And then when the discussion of single barrel pick came up, because we wanted to do one for the Single Malt Frontier, we wanted to do one for the lodge for even longer, we literally years at that point. And the idea came up, and Caitlin at that point, the point of the pick, was the new master distiller for Hood River Distillers, and she really went to bat for us and explained how much we care about McCarthy's as a brand, and helped us pitch it to Hood River. And basically, we talked amongst ourselves. I believe it was Joe, Doug, Caitlin, and I basically sat down on a call, because Joe and I are across the country from them. And we sampled a little bit, and we decided that, yeah, this is the one. There were a couple of other samples that were tried, but none of them was as rich um, and really grabbed us quite as strongly as this. And while we were like working it out in talks, Take Key, T8KE, I don't know actually how to say it. Our bourbon released theirs. It was very good. And it is a very good whiskey. It is an excellent whiskey. McCarthy's does not make bad whiskey. And we were kind of caught in limbo for a little while, but we made it all the way through. And now this has been on the market for about a year now. And there's less than a case left. And it is like genuinely one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. It is amazing whiskey. I can't talk up enough how great this is and how amazing of a job Caitlin Bartlemay is doing at Clear Creek. There isn't anybody who can hold a candle to what she does. Now, let's talk about that finish a little bit. You got to get a little bit more. Mm. 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 Now the finish. The finish is like a nice, somehow, like there's that classic McCarthy's mineralic note, which I should have called out going all the way through, but it's McCarthy's. There's that mineralic note that kind of pops back up on the palate, but it's different from the usual McCarthy's mineralic. It's more of an earthy, like smoke and dirt and like cane sugar, and it's just this nice, rich, clinging, lingering, long finish, and it makes you want a little bit more. Genuinely one of my favorite bottles. I have bottle number 2, which will remain sealed, I guess until my wake, I suppose. But I don't know if you can see roughly where the level on this is, but it's about here. This is second bottle opened. I may have to try to get more before it's all gone. Whoops. I'm knocking everything over behind me. Now, I always ask and answer 3 questions. I'm not going to do that this time because it's unfair to treat this like a real proper review, because it isn't. This is me talking about how much I love this whiskey. And because I was involved in the selection of it, it feels kind of weird to be like, oh yeah, I like this whiskey. I think it's a great value at $120 a bottle, which genuinely I do. But do I recommend it? Yes, everyone should have bought a bottle of this already, at least one. Preferably, I mean, you really just should have bought a case when it first released, but Anyway, before I spin the wheel, once again, French oak barrel stave twist pens, $25 a piece. The rollerball pens, which are exceptionally nice, smooth writing, fancy, impressive looking pens. Also, French oak ex cognac cask used to age cognac for 45 years before being used to finish a peated American single malt whiskey in the Pacific Northwest. I can't tell you which one, but if you know, you know. I also have a walnut pen, a catalpa pen, and a couple of salvage Epiphone pens, and I've got a TeePublic. I've got maybe more designs coming. I'm working on them. I'm not an artist. You know that. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's start by hiding the choice and spinning. And place your bets now. Is it going to be a rye? I don't think it will be. I think it'd be, again, too convenient. Ooh, a different one. Okay. I don't talk about Scotch a lot on my show because genuinely I don't have terribly much scotch. We've got a there it is. All the way in the back here is my bottle of Dalwhinnie Winter's Frost, which is a Game of Thrones tie-in bottle from Diageo. It is, of course, Dalwhinnie. It is, I believe, comparable to one of their regular NAS releases. I'll do a little bit of research and bring that with me when I record this Friday's video. Just going to be a Friday Scotch Day video. And of course, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be looking at another Discovery Club bottling from Lost Lantern. It's the Painted Stave. So look forward to that. It's a really interesting and different one, and I think well worth the time to look at. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk about something that is so special to me. And genuinely, Caitlin, thank you so much for making this happen. And to you, Joe, for being such a fantastic person just in general. Like I said, one of my distilling heroes, much like Caitlin Bartlemay. Couldn't have made this happen without you all, obviously. And couldn't have made this happen without the fine folks in the Whiskey Lodge and the viewers of the Single Malt Frontier. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me talk about it for like 15 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay happy, stay geeks, sláinte.